Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
that was weird. It popped up it popped up a few times. Um, but yeah, it's finally worked. It seems really zoomed
All right.
in, but yeah, okay. You
I
all
know.
right?
Yeah, we're so used to Zoom, aren't we?
Huh?
Yeah, no, I said we're so used to Zoom, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. It's just getting used to all the different platforms, isn't it?
So, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. All right. I was kind of.
Am I all right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Hold up, bear with me a second.
Hi, everyone that's joined. Just gonna, I think we're just gonna wait a few minutes.
Yeah, I can't see.
Um, Hector's joined.
Okay. Weird. Says he's unable to join. Hey everyone. Hope you're doing well. It's weird to do this. It's very surreal.
This
Hello.
is the first time we've done a band live
Yeah.
stream.
Working.
So,
Hey.
hey
Hello.
Hector.
How are you, Hector?
Sorry.
How are you, Hector?
I'm good, and you?
Great. Yeah, we're live. This is our first.
We're live now, officially.
Yeah.
Well, it's us three anyway at the moment. So,
Yeah.
let's wait for a few more people to come in. I don't know the combined amount of followers that we could potentially be reaching out and reaching to at the minute. Kat, you've got like nine.
Well,
Uh,
a few,
got
but
like
yeah, I mean,
1,000.
not that many. Anyway, it's cool. Whoever's joining, thanks for joining. We're just we'll be chatting through and ask some questions like in a few minutes.
Yeah, sure. That was just like shit and stuff. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Yeah.
What is that noise?
It's that. I think it's just you're moving your computer or your phone.
Oh,
No,
my nose.
me.
Nose. It's me trying to put my phone somewhere it won't fall. But I might just hold it, to be honest.
This is why you should invest in a phone stand. It's so
Yes.
useful.
Oh.
I've got one and it's literally changed my life. So, you know.
I need to know what to do. I'm actually holding my phone against my laptop, so it's standing against my laptop at the moment. I'm sturdy enough.
And anything,
Good.
yeah. Multi-purpose.
Yeah, for sure. What have you guys been up to, generally, today?
Today, just been super chilled. Like, we ended up rewatching Eurovision, funnily enough. So bad, but yeah, it's just like, just for fun, you know, just like, it's just super cheesy, all of it.
I know who.
But yeah, I watched some of it last night, but then like my partner Sonia, like she missed it. So she wanted to watch it today. So I've been watching it for like a second time, which is a bit much really. Once is usually enough.
Yeah, I usually when I was younger, I used to obsess over watching the voting, the voting counts at the end. That's all I was interested in. It's so weird.
Well, that to be fair, that's like kind of the most exciting bit. But yeah,
Yeah,
you kind of you miss all the performances, but you just get like the snippets.
yeah.
So yeah, shout out Eurovision fans, any out there.
I know who won again. Was it Italy?
Yeah, Italy won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, someone gave me a face. Yeah, so let me know when you guys want to start. I mean, we've got 3 people in at the moment.
I think let's just go for it.
Just go. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So first, should we start with like introductions? My name. Okay. So hey, I'm Aaron. I'm the vocalist in Case You Leave and cheerleader.
Cheerleader,
I,
resident cheerleader. I'm Kat and I play guitar.
Hi, Tom, the bass player.
nice, sweet. And then
Bass tapping extraordinaire.
oh yeah,
No, no.
punk rock. Um,
Everyone knows now. The video's gone up, so you know.
Yeah, so basically, first, we just wanted to say that the reason why we wanted to do this live stream was to first off just touch in and say hey, and remind everyone that the single is out, and you can listen to it by clicking on the link in our bio. We've got a link tree. You can listen to it on Spotify, Bandcamp. Yeah, just wanted to touch in and just talk about the single. And then we also wanted to just speak with you and connect with you all as well, generally. If you want to ask us any questions, feel free to type in a chat or click on the question at the bottom of the right hand screen of the screen. And then, we'll answer those questions as well. But we've already got some prompts and questions and stuff. So we'll be talking all things The Rose Gold Hour, which came out on Friday. So it's a fresh new single.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop. Finally out after sitting on it.
Finally. Yeah. It's only been like 2 years, right?
Feels long, honestly. I also wanted to point out that the live will be recorded, and that there'll be more news about what we're up to soon as well. Just looking ahead of things. First off, I kind of wanted to say thank you to Jack Driscoll, who produced the EP, Tom Hill, who mixed it, and Marcello and Giugetti, who did like the cover artwork of the single. And then I also wanted to thank Kian, who played guitar on the single, and Nick, who also played drums on the single. Other than that, what have you guys been listening to first off, just generally, recently?
My music taste has just been bouncing around. I've been trying to listen to some new stuff. I've been listening to, I know Hector, you mentioned this one as well, The Armed, Ultra Pop, that album. I've been listening to that a little bit.
It's so
really,
good.
really noisy and really dense, but there's some great tracks on there. And like just listening to a few different things. A band called Finnish emo band called Moshi Moshi. Just recently heard about them. They're really cool. And just like Tiger's Jaw. Been listening to their new album a lot. That's really good. I'm still dipping in and out of listening to Pine Grove a lot over the last like year or so. So I'm sure people are probably like tired of hearing me bang on about them, but they're super great band. So
Pine Grove just sort of like latched onto you. You need to let go of them. Can you?
Yeah, need to let go. Need to move on.
What about you, Hector? What have you been listening to?
I'm the odd one out always on like music taste. I've been listening to a lot of French rap as usual.
Nice.
And I've been listening to quite a bit of like Olivia Rodrigo's album. She had like a big hit, like #1 hit in the US, like very pop album. But like she's like 18, I think, and she's like not as artsy as Billie Eilish, of course. She's just like very pure on pop, but she quite like different things, ballads, pop hits, a lot of like guitar, bass, like quite big, like Rhinestone playing. She has an amazing pop rock tune in this album. Yeah, just a bit of pop, bit of rap as usual. And The Armed, it's a weird one. It's like a mix of black, punk, noise. It's a weird record, but it's so noisy, but it's so melodic at the same time, which is what we're going for too with our band. So like, it's just a great record. The Armed, yeah.
Yeah, sure. And any math?
Not these days, actually. Not these days. What am I going back to? The thing I'm going back to the most is like Yvette Young and her band Covet. I'm going back that a lot. Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Aaron?
Similar to you guys, we listened to Armed. That record is so dense, so out of this world. Real challenge to my ears at first when I listened to it. Sort of similar to like when I listened to Refuse, like The Shape of Punk to Come. I remember that being like really eclectic, not as dense, But yeah, the same sort of vibes I got with that really. But I'm sort of, you know, more receptive to it each listen. But the amazing thing with that is that the record is such an experience. I'm finding new things that I like about the record, like every time I listen to it. But it's so multi-layered. But
Yeah, you have to listen to it a few times, I think, just to kind of hear everything that's going on because they're like an 8-piece band or something crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And I think prior to this album, no one ever saw their real face. They were always sending their friends for interviews, for live performances. They were masked, like it's a whole deal. I think for this album, so it's their real faces, but like they don't even say when it's them or not, so we don't really know.
It's a mystery. That's cool.
other than that, yeah, I've been listening to some sort of like Afro beats and house, surprisingly. What else I've been listening to? This band called Wayful, who are like this really old sort of like screamer band from the 90s. They're really cool. They kind of remind me of Code and Armada.
I think we get a question from the chat actually. If you
Oh yeah,
go,
we'll get to it.
which is like linked to what we're talking about. That's why I'm bringing it up. It's like
Oh, okay.
what bands drew us to like playing the kind of music and like creating the kind of music we're making?
Oh, that's a good question. For me, certainly, it, yeah, a big influence was Sweela Loon. I kind of wanted to. I play in another band called Older, but I was sort of wanting to do stuff that was a bit more like emo influenced and twinkly, and I'd been listening to a lot of bands like Sweela Loon, Sore Eyelids, just a mixture of like emo bands and yeah, that really sort of came through. Funeral Diner, like she wearing like a jumper.
Oh yeah. I see.
And yeah, just sort of like wanting to kind of build on stuff that was like more in that emo vein, Saddest Landscape. I seem to remember, I'm trying to remember what the message that I sent out to you guys was when we were recruiting band members, but I think I mentioned a bunch.
You mentioned
Maybe
like
Old Grey. I think Old Grey were in there.
Old Grey, Lulu. I think you mentioned Loma Prieta.
Yeah,
You mentioned
possibly.
Turnover, which is a
Did I?
bit misleading. Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
mentioned Pity Sex as well, so
Oh yeah, no, I remember. Yeah,
he was
yeah.
really like
We've got a
pushing.
copy of that somewhere. We should like post it.
Yeah, he was pushing this sort of like ambient shoegaze sort of.
Yeah, yeah, stuff that was like shoegaze influenced as well.
Mm. And you mentioned Sore Eyelids as well. In terms of what got the genre, I suppose sort of like gateway bands that I first initially listened to within like the genre, probably like age 16. Who else? On the Might of Princes.
Yeah.
Of course, Sweela Loon as well, and Envy. They had the more like, sort of like post rock sort of elements in the music, and Sweela Loon definitely have more of a sort of prominent punk sort of aspect to them, which we sort of encapsulate in our music as well. And then at the drive-in was just at the drive-in at Alexis on Fire. They were sort of like my gateway to everything in a way. It's really odd because at the drive-in sort of covered the Smiths, and I was always drawn to the Smiths, and then I listened to at the drive-in, and I was drawn to Fire, Dallas Green and his vocals. That so yeah, and then Undergrowth as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Under Oath were a big influence for me back in the day, especially like starting to play guitar. Like they were one of the bands that I was listening to like more often. So yeah. Yeah, I think you can like maybe with Rose Gold you can hear some of these influences come through in what we do. It's kind of like a mash. It's not we can't really say it's like sounds exactly like this or exactly like that because we all have sort of diverse influences, but yeah, like we might be influenced by some bands more than others. So yeah, I think it all comes through.
For sure. Let's talk about like although the song's already been out was released on Friday. Um, how do you think the responses have been so far? What have you seen people say? I've seen a lot of like mostly positive, to be honest, overwhelmingly positive sort of feedback, which has been really surprising.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of positive things. You know, thanks to everyone that's listened to it so far. You know, that's really encouraging. It was really nice to see, you know, Miss Stars share about it, and Strictly, you know, capital letters. So yeah, that's really, yeah, it's been super encouraging.
Yeah, just seeing people sorry about that. Just see people instantly sort of like gravitate towards and just sort of like repost. Yeah, retweet has been also really warmed my heart. So yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, those funny quotes like, you know, been a while since an emo band sounded like this. Emo,
Yeah.
emo from London with twinkly little bells. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that was my favorite comment, the twinkly bells bit.
For sure. So yeah, how does it feel listening back to it? You say?
I mean, interesting, like in a way that I suppose like it's a song that we've heard a lot over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Bear with me.
it's a bit,
You can still ask.
it definitely feels,
Bear with me, I'm coming back.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, it feels weird to hear it because yeah, we played it so much. The good thing is it was such a raw performance. Like we recorded without like a click track or live in the studio. So it still had. It doesn't feel weird to listen to it because it's really captures still what we're doing live and how we're rehearsing. I don't see that much of a difference, like of how we rehearse, how we play live, and how we recorded it. It's very much like we keep that very raw energy, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, I really like how the track came out. I think, like you said, like we recorded it live, and Tom did a really great job on mixing and mastering and still keeping that kind of like raw sounding element to it, but like just still really like kind of bringing it to life. So
I
yeah,
listen.
it's all been like exciting and surreal, I think, for
Yeah.
me. Like, yeah.
I listened to it like right next to Shizune, which is like the only screamo band I really know and I really know the sound of. And they sound like it's pretty similar. I think our mix sounds a bit brighter and the drums are more like present. But it fits very well. I think I do that too because whenever I master anything, it's never loud enough. So I always want to check, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm very happy with the mix.
Always got to be louder.
No, not even loud. Just not being like way lower than the rest of the stuff that's on stream platforms.
Yeah, that's true. How have you felt about it, Aaron?
I think it feels a bit surreal to just see it just like physically play on like Spotify. And it's just sort of hit me like the fact that the songs is like accessible, like people can actually listen to it. Like I said, it feels great because we've held on to it for so for so long. Listening back to it, I sort of get like flashbacks of like writing certain parts in like downstairs in my house, you know, going over variations of like the melody in the bridge over and over.
Nice.
Yeah, there must have been like 20 reiterations that I have.
The bedroom versions that will never see the light of day.
Of the bridge. And I really, really love that song, and I'm pretty proud of how it's turned out.
Definitely. I remember also feeling a lot of excitement when I kind of wrote the verse riff and that song actually came together quite quickly. You know, I think it was in spring 2019. I think it was around April, May or something that kind of idea first came to me, and yeah, like when I still listen to it, it's still, you know, I still feel like that initial excitement, even though now it's sort of like 2 years on and you know a lot happened. It's still like yeah, like you say, I'm still proud of that song. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's out there. I feel like it really encapsulates who we like as well. So it was only right that it was the one that we release.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other than that, should we maybe go into like backstory, more of a backstory into writing like particular sections? Like I remember for me in particular, writing the lyrics. Like I always do like a bit of like free form, sort of like creative writing generally. So I'm always writing about something. So sometimes, yeah, the lyrics are pulled from like a block of writing that I already just sort of have. And that was the case for this. I had, yeah, just like a block of writing just lying around. And I remember receiving the sort of like, the acoustic instrumentals from you, Kat, when we first started speaking, and that was one of the instrumentals. And I remember it just like really hitting me and being really floored because it was everything that I would have wanted to do in a project, especially for
Oh.
source project, which I never thought I'd front, by the way. I never ever thought I'd the screamo band. Yeah.
Dreams come true, you know.
My little, scram's dreams.
Yeah,
yeah, it was
exactly.
everything I wanted from like, the moments of aggression, the blast beats, the sort of warm, like melancholy, with like the melodies as well. And yeah, like perfect opportunity to explore like the sort of different facets of the vocals that I wanted, with the clean singing, the spoken word and the screaming. So yeah, writing it was came pretty quickly to me. Yeah, and yeah, in terms of my approach with writing the lyrics, writing the vocals in particular, I did. I never ever want listeners to be like bored or predict where I'll go. So that's why I try and make sure they're as dynamic as possible. And like, yeah, I feel like the song welcomed that sort of approach with like sort of open arms, in which it's sort of, the rhythms sort of change and the mood sort of changes as well. And I think I'll always want to do that. I'll never ever want to get complacent vocally. So yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say on that really. To Kat in particular, I kind of wanted to ask you you sort of actually touched upon that. Where else can you hear just sort of like your sort of style of playing and your influences on Rose Gold? Like in which particular sections?
I mean, I think when it came to writing that song, like I think it was the arpeggio riff that kind of came to me first, and it was kind of, I wanted the song to center around that riff, and that's kind of how it got written. But yeah, I'm quite a fan of, like, as you guys know, the kind of whammy bar, like droney sound. So I kind of wanted that to play a part in the song as well. And so you can kind of hear that on some of the sort of heavier chords where I'm sort of using that. And then sort of at the end of the song as well, where there's that sort of, long section where it sort of drops out and becomes a bit more clean and picky, and you can hear the sort of chords ringing out. So yeah, those were kind of things that I wanted to weave into it. I definitely knew I wanted a blast beat in there somewhere, and it was great that like the chords I had in mind, like just everything came together really well, because it was like, yeah, I want this sort of picky bit, but then I want it to get to that like heaviness as well. So you kind of hear that, in the song later on as well. So yeah, I think it was one of those songs that came together really well with like the ideas that I had in mind, and yeah, you can kind of hear, I guess, my style of playing on it a bit, and yeah, kind of what I wanted to go for a bit with that.
Yeah, sweet. Hector, so can you speak a bit about like your approach to writing the bass part on the Rose Gold album?
I need to remember.
If you remember,
yeah. So there's a lot of parts when I joined. So basically, you guys had like the 4 or 5 songs written when I came in, and I basically put bass parts on it. For like musicians out there, it's pretty fun to put bass parts on songs that are already written, because you have the lowest note, so you kind of define how it sounds and the chords, like how they sound. So most of the time in Rose Gold, like I'm in the fast parts, the very punky parts, I'm like just following what the guitars are playing. For the verse, I go pretty crazy. It's like
a really kind of intricate line.
Yeah,
Playing.
I think I wrote it that way because at the time I was doing jazz at school, and so it's kind of like walking bass style a bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Uh,
that's
yeah, so that's why it sounds like this, and then the other parts, no, the other
We
parts
should.
are like rock fills. Oh yeah, that's how it influenced me. Actually, that was a challenge when I joined the band. Is like how fast could I tremolo pick for the fast parts, which I got like a few rehearsals were pretty harsh, but then I got there. Yeah, it was. I don't actually don't remember if I wrote it during a rehearsal at home. I think it was during a rehearsal that like I came up with it.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember most of it coming together during the rehearsal. And I think it wasn't that song, but maybe another song that we wrote where I kept telling you that it sounded too resolved.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing
And
about the chords. It's like you can change how a chord sounds. Like if you play the one chord, the dun, like the resolution one. If I play something else on bass, this is unresolved. I decide if it's resolved or not.
yeah.
So it's a very fun way to approach music. I don't know if it's about this song or another one, but I came after everyone joined in the band, and yeah, most of the time when I was writing, I was writing during the rehearsals. It was like first I learned the songs and then I was writing a bit on them, 1 or 2 rehearsals per song, and there's only one bass part that comes in mind where I wrote it like at home, or 2 actually, with the Blood Arrow one, the video we have of me showing off my skills.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you're
there's only one other time where I wrote it at home. Most of the time it was like coming up with stuff on the go. Yeah.
yeah.
right.
Nice.
Yeah, fond memories. Yeah, just talking about just another thing I kind of wanted to add about, writing our own parts and just sort of carving out the song when we was in rehearsal rooms.
We have a question. Just I don't know if you want to. Are you guys playing shows around the UK anytime soon?
Hope so.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
we play.
that's the aim. As soon as we can.
Yeah,
Um,
we're itching to get out there. We played 2 in 2020, and then after COVID sort of hit, and kind of stopped us from playing our 3rd show, which would have been in March in the UK.
It was like the week of the lockdown. It was like the Saturday, and the lockdown started on the Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, we would love to come to Bristol.
Mosh.
Oh, okay.
We have to work out some kind of UK tour.
It's in Bristol or Brighton. I always mix up the 2.
Bristol.
Yeah, Keen will be there in Bristol. That would be fun.
Yeah, Keen's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love loads of bands from Bristol. Punch On from Bristol. Who else from Bristol? I can't remember now.
A whole bunch now that I
Can't remember one spot.
Wait, what's this? Like, isn't Idols from Bristol? Or am I completely wrong?
I'm not sure.
Someone might like correct me. I had this in mind.
Yeah. Dan from Callous Records is based in Bristol, so shout out Old Pride.
Yes, Portishead of
and Dan's projects.
that whole trip hop scene. Yeah, they're all from Bristol, Portishead, Tricky, Massive Attack. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Shout out-
Wait, so very ignorant question of the only non-Brit in here. Bristol, is it West Bristol? Is it like the one west or the one just south of London?
Oh no, it's like southwest.
Yeah, South.
Yeah, Bristol is the one west and Brighton is the one south. Okay, yeah, no, I picture it now. Well, right next to Wales, right? Bristol.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what it is.
Great, we've gone through.
You're excused for not knowing English geography. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
he talks to us a lot on Twitter. I really appreciate the engagement. So yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, we sort of touched upon it, but I remember while we were, in terms of like going back to like when we were writing the song, I remember there being like a load of like confusion and protests of the, just talking about which songs was a chorus, or why we can't call it a chorus, why we can't call it part A or part B and so on. I remember them it being really.
Oh my god.
I think Kat has a like disgust for anything that resembles popular structure of songs.
That's been the
That's the
in joke,
funny.
but
Yeah.
you know,
Cat hates part.
not that I do.
Joey loves scrams. That's about it.
Scrams only. That's why that's how I coined my handle, Instagram handle in the end. I was just like, I'm just gonna go with it, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we have like few of our songs. Of course we have like repeating parts. But yeah, we argued for this one in a few songs that which part is the chorus, which part is the verse, because they both happen 2 times. Are we starting with the chorus or the verse? Like, is there any point to it, like calling them? I think there's like a point for me, especially because I didn't write them, so I had to like get a structure in my head to learn them. But is that really important though?
No, it's not really important. It's exciting, man.
It's whatever works in your head, I guess. Like, I guess for me, like I understood like one part being a sort of verse riff idea. But yeah, I don't know if like in Rose Gold I would say there was a clear like chorus idea. It's more like it's quite a song that sort of flows. Do you know what I mean? Like but maybe in our other songs it's a different story.
I'd say in my head, the part where I have like kind of a walking bass line with the arpeggiated part and Aaron doing clean singing, I visualize it as a verse in my head.
Really, I think of that as the chorus.
Well, yeah.
Chorus. We begin with the verse, and there's like a pre-chorus, and then there's the chorus.
Oh yeah, or like intro and then verse and then chorus.
Was it an intro with vocals?
Sorry?
So is it an intro with vocals then?
I say like that's just a heavy riff. We don't play that one again, do we?
I don't know. I always just called it the intro riff or the opening riff.
Yeah, it's just like we make a lot of noise and you scream on it. Yeah.
The verse, the first verse.
But it doesn't really appear anymore, does it?
That's true.
So yeah, that's the fun part. But actually, when we wrote a few songs that are very like prog and mathy and weird in terms of structure. Actually, when we get back to writing, hopefully very soon, we need like to label things, not especially verse or chorus, but like A, B, anything to like so we can let's take it from there so we know where.
Yeah.
I would think so
it's gonna get complicated.
What do you remember about recording it in the studio, Rose God Hour? Both of you.
It was a long day. I remember it being a very long day. But yeah, like I mean, we were in there from like 10 a.m. till like 9 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
Like
recorded everything all live.
Everything was live. Yeah, I mean, it was great. Like as always, like I was a little bit nervous and just wanting everything to come together on the day. But yeah, like it sounded really great. And I remember hearing it back at the end of the day and thinking like, okay, I think we've got something pretty good here. Yeah.
What about you?
What about you guys?
What do you know about
about the day or like this song in particular?
Song in particular, the day. Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, which one?
Yeah, this song in particular.
Yeah, I don't know actually. This one was not in the ones that we had troubles with, if I remember correctly. Since it's like the opener to our shows, if I'm not mistaken. Is it?
Yeah, we have played that song like first, I think. It was either that or I think Versus Everything.
First.
Oh yeah, but like I remember playing it so much that we didn't really have troubles with it. No, I can't remember of a thing for this one actually.
It was the first. I think it was the first song we recorded.
Yeah.
In there, yeah, and yeah, I think it all went like pretty smooth.
We was both
didn't have to do like too many. Like I think we did multiple takes of everything, but
yeah.
Like,
We was in like divided. We was in groups of two, weren't we? So it was Kat, you know, Nick,
yeah.
Kia in one room, then it was me and you, Hector in another room, and I
Yep.
was I was just thinking about like all the fun like Kat you lot were up to in your room, and I was because I was
Yeah.
stressed, I wasn't really being that social with Hector. So
Oh
when,
yeah, we had our own banter. I can't even remember what we were chatting about, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you know, just doing stupid
and,
things.
and then I
Yeah.
got back, I was just like screaming in the room with Hector right there, not too far away from me. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. And I actually, yeah, I have no
Jack was
idea.
right there as well.
Sorry.
you Kat?
I know, just saying, like Jack was right there as
Yeah.
well, the
Yeah,
mixing
the
engineer.
engineer. And I actually have no idea how you did like a whole day of this, because not like you didn't do like the 11 hours, but it's like it's a very demanding thing. There's you and Nick, the drummer, who are doing very demanding physical stuff, both of you. And yeah, I don't know how you did it.
I was definitely stressed. I enjoyed it, but I was stressed. But I'd say like personally, it was quite surreal just sort of being in the studio to go from like self-recording in our practice space, maybe 3 weeks before when we did the Versus Everything demo,
Yeah,
to
something like
Yeah.
going in a proper sort of studio. It was funny because it sort of hit me. I was like, okay, I'm actually in the band like properly because like in my head because I've had
But you,
you know I've had such a sort of like tumultuous sort of like experience with like playing with like friends and so on, and projects not necessarily always coming to like fruition
mm,
completely. Like I was just never really sure, and I was just taking each day as it comes in regards to like the rehearsals and so on. So in my head I was hopeful and I was optimistic. So when we got to like the recording studio, I was just like, okay, wow, this is actually happening, awesome. And yeah, it felt
yeah, like looking back at it, like we had a really like busy couple of months of like 2020, like the start of last year was, having our like first show in January, then the second one in February. We were gonna have shows later in like March. But yeah, then we did like our own sort of like DIY demo recording of Versus Everything, and then at the end of the month, literally like just before like COVID hit, we managed to get in and record. So it was really like everything was good timings, in that way.
yeah.
Otherwise, imagine if we hadn't recorded, we would have still been in this position of trying to get those songs out that have been, that we wrote back in 2019,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good that, we were able to do that.
Yeah, really thankful that I was able to get into the studio at that time. What was I gonna say? I remember. What I was also gonna say. I remember pacing around, like kind of worried that I was gonna screw up my vocal takes. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna sound shrieky here. I'm gonna blow my voice out. Because bear in mind, like this is still
It can work. Just end up sounding like Jerome Stream
real
almost.
shrieky, yeah. But like that's like a skilled shriek.
Well, yeah,
Shriek with
exactly.
anything like that. But yeah, I remember just sort of like pacing up and down, going in and out of this, the control room, and just sort of doing vocal exercises outside, like near the toilets, getting, water.
I must have missed all of that. Like
Yeah,
you did that like subtly because
it's like,
I just must have been in
yeah,
the
because I was
studio room the whole time.
everyone else, I was just my experience sort of seen as if I was chill and I was keep together, but in my head,
When you were
I'm a
shitting
script
your pants.
But yeah, what's the yeah. So yeah, I remember that about recording specifically for me. But yeah, it turned out great. I think, and yeah, bear in mind also that I'm singing for a screaming band is still pretty new to me in terms of, and especially with the throat vocals and the screaming vocals. So
Mhm.
I'm still sort of learning things as I go. But I remember that being a real trying time and sort of test for me on that day. But I really enjoyed the experience overall.
I remember it sounding great. Like, I remember at one point we were sort of like sat behind you
Oh
in
my
the
God,
booth,
yeah.
and thinking like, I was like, you know, I think me and Nick were chatting a bit, and I was like thinking, I think we should probably shut up because we're probably like distracting Aaron a lot here.
Yeah,
Um,
times in which yeah, Nick was talking. I was just like, I was waiting.
and Kian was like with his phone, like taking, like making like filters and doing all this crazy stuff on Instagram.
And I remember specifically Jack asked me, "Hey, dude, do you want it to just be us while you recorded the vocals?" And I was like, "Oh, do you want to let the other guys in?" And in my head, for like 3 seconds, I was just like, "Yeah,
Get them
tell them
out.
to go." And I was like, "Nah, all right, no, you can keep them in."
Next time we can, like, I don't know, piss off and get food or something.
Bowling, go kart or something. Just get out.
Yeah, just do something crazy.
I was gonna say, I was also, I think that was most of my questions, really. Actually, do we have any other questions?
Any more chat questions?
Huh?
Any more chat questions,
Is there any
people?
check?
Not that I can see, but fire away now or
Yeah,
forever hold your
right.
peace. But yeah, I'm sure, you know, we can always do like further live streams down the line. So this is not going to be like the only chance to tune
Only
in.
one ever. Yeah, no,
The only one, the first and the last.
yeah, no. This has been really fun and stuff, and I'm glad the single is out.
Oh, have a great day as well. And yeah,
Yeah, have a good day.
no worries.
Yeah, again, you can check out the single by clicking on the link in our bio. You can listen on Spotify, Bandcamp. Again, I want to say a massive thank you to Kian, who played guitar
Sweet. Thanks, Sam.
played drums, and Jack, who recorded us, and Tom, who mixed us, and Marcello, who did the artwork for the single. We've got a few comments. No problem, Sam. Take care. About your band like a day ago. Congrats on the single. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you.
What else? Oh yeah, then we're also on Facebook, Twitter / in case you leave. Yeah, on Twitter in case you leave. What do you want to mention your your handles just generally if you're on Twitter and Instagram, you guys?
Oh, well, yeah, I'm just Catsgrams on Insta. I don't really, I use Facebook, but I don't really use Twitter. So yeah, just follow me on here. That's cool.
Hector?
Yeah, same at Hector Bond. Yeah. And Kat, you have another band?
Yeah. Yeah, I can quickly plug my other band. Yeah, I play guitar in Older. You might have sort of seen us. We've released a couple of records. So we've got 2 EPs out, and we released Keep Hanging On Kid just last year, which was really fun. And yeah, like we'll be doing more stuff over the next few months now that we can get back to rehearsing and stuff. So yeah, there'll be more news, but yeah, do follow us as well, and yeah, there'll be more updates soon.
Yeah.
And I make hip hop too. I'll send the links to our side project. Do you have any other side project, Aaron, at the moment?
I'm working on things. Yeah.
Or is in case you leave your side project?
I'm working on it. If something people know for sure. But by the way,
it's under wraps for now.
under wrap, yeah. My Twitter is Aaron. It's like and then like and then yes, the same for my as well. At Aaron. Other than that, yeah. So this live is being recorded. And yeah, have more news soon about what we've been up to. So yeah.
Sweet.
Till then.
Cool.
Take care. Check out the Rose Gold Hour.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks everyone.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right. Take care.